The Lego deals certainly piled up here this month, so stay tuned to find out what I got, as well as what I got here on my birthday. So let's get to it. Alright guys, hey, it's Mandak coming at you with another haul video here. Welcome into haul video 165. So yeah, hope you guys are having a great day, week, month, and year, as I always say. Yeah, this haul is somewhat birthday gifts, I guess, to myself and from my wife and her family. So we'll kind of go through that there, but yeah, it's been a busy month here with purchases. So like I said in the last haul video, I kind of alluded to it. The Lego deals for this, Lego deals for this time of year are just really insane right now. A lot of stores are having some really great sales. So again, if you are looking for something for a decent price, you're waiting for a sale for a set that you really want, definitely would recommend, keeping an eye out for it around this time of year. As I said, things are going on crazy discounts right now. And that is pretty much the majority of what I've gotten here. Aside from some gifts from my wife and her family that I received, everything else here I bought on a sale, at least 20% off. So, really good to get those deals here. But yeah, so like I said at the top of the video, some of this stuff is from my birthday. So my wife and I spent a good, quiet birthday here. She got me a good amount of stuff here that I'll show. But one thing I just will talk about here, kind of unrelated to what we've been talking here about on the channel and everything, but she did get me into cold brew coffee. So, I mean, I was already kind of into iced coffee. Usually I don't drink it a lot just because it's expensive, right? Like buying it at Starbucks and stuff. But she actually got me into Starbucks cold brew concentrate. So I've been drinking that. I'm still actually drinking the container she got me for my birthday. So it's good though. It's a lot cheaper than going to Starbucks every day. And it pretty much tastes the same. I got some Chobani creamer. I guess maybe I'll show some pictures of the stuff that I have used, just so if anyone out there is curious of what I'm drinking for my coffee, I do that. So yeah, I got the cold brew coffee from Starbucks, and then she also got me some vanilla, like sugar-free syrup to put in there. And then a nice little Stanley mug. So I really appreciate that. It's just a nice little gift, and I've been really enjoying it. I've been making jokes with her that I think she's going to get me on a caffeine addiction now. But I don't drink that much a day. Like, I'll just drink like 1 cup of coffee each day or so. So just trying to keep it to a minimum here. But yeah, no, it's been good. I'll also talk about the creamer I use. So I use the Chobani pumpkin spice creamer. I'm currently using that one right now. So yeah, that's pretty much what I do. And then she got me cold foam as well. So because that's the drink I usually get when we go to Starbucks, is a vanilla cream cold brew type of coffee. So yeah, really enjoying it. It's funny that like I don't really drink coffee much during the day, but I found that like drinking just 1 cup really kind of gets me through my morning, and then through my afternoon, kind of keeps me focused. So that's good from that angle, I guess. But anyways, long story short there, yeah, so the majority of this haul is going to be Lego. I do have a couple of things, so we'll still have a comic haul segment here, but it's going to be mostly discussing what I've been reading. So I'll give you guys an update on that. And then I do have a couple things that are comic book related that I will show off. But yeah, so, and I'll talk also about this upcoming trip that I'm looking to take that may help with finding some stuff for the collection here. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get into that section, and we'll start as always with the comics. Alright guys, so welcome into the comic book section here for haul video 165. So as I mentioned, no new comic books per se to discuss this month, but I do have 2 items that I will be showing off here. And then I'll also be giving you guys a little sneak peek as to a trip that I'm taking that should hopefully be fruitful. But first things first, as I always do on these segments, I will talk about what I've been reading this month. So since last month, I believe I talked about the first 2 volumes of Captain America by Rick Remender. So since the last video, I have finished that whole run by Remender. I read volume 3, Loose Nuke, which, as you can guess, features the, I guess, antagonist Nuke, who I think first made his appearance in the Daredevil Born Again storyline. I could be wrong. Maybe he did appear in something else before that, but he's most notable. He's most remembered for that appearance in that storyline. And obviously Captain America shows up in Born Again, so that's kind of a nice little parallel there. And then volume 4 is getting into Iron Nail, and then volume 5 was Tomorrow Soldier. So a lot of this is like some weird like space stuff. Like I that's kind of the one complaint I have with this whole run by Remender, is it just feels a lot like one of his Image series, but Captain America is the star instead. It just feels very out of place for Captain America. And again, that's not to say that Captain America can't have like these celestial, like different dimension battling alien stuff. It's just really not like my cup of tea, or I guess cup of coffee, if you will. I just really don't enjoy like stories like that with Cap in particular. So again, that's just something to keep in mind. I mean, if you're someone who's like that out there that loves these types of storylines, by all means, you know, have fun. But it just wasn't my, my favorite. Honestly, the best part about this run was the end, when Steve Rogers gets old and he basically hands the reins of Captain America over to Sam Wilson, which perfectly segues into my next little chunk of books I've been reading here. So there's 2 books that connect this Remender run to the Sam Wilson Captain America run. So the first one I ended up reading was All New Captain America, Fear Him. So this was like a mini series that came out like right after Rick Remender's run. And then we also have All New Captain America, Hydra Ascendant. So as you can imagine, that has also a little volume there. And I'm kind of confused because on the spine of that trade, it says volume 1. But I looked it up and I'm pretty sure there was never a volume 2. I think it was just the 5 or 6 issues, and then it just got, the book ended or something, and then they moved into the Captain America, Sam Wilson books. But either way, both of these are really nice, kind of introduces the Marvel Universe to Sam Wilson as Captain America. So obviously, this is the whole reason why I've kind of been reading these books leading up to the 4th Captain America movie here. Brave New World, I think it's what it's called. I know they changed the name of it, or I don't know if it's New World Order, one of those. I think it's Brave New World. But anyways, that's the whole reason why I've been reading these books, to get to this point with Sam Wilson as Captain America. And I definitely think the payoff was worth it. I will say, and, kind of moving into the Sam Wilson books. So the ones I've been reading so far are Not My Captain America, which is the first volume. Volume 2, which is Standoff, which is obviously a tie-in to the Standoff Avengers story, I think, which I have not read and probably won't ever read. And then we also have the Civil War 2 tie-in. But what I was trying to get to with this whole thing is the payoff is nice because there is a lot of hearkening back to Sam Wilson's origins. Even going back as far as like the early Captain America stuff, where he was, Captain America ran into him on an island that was controlled by the Red Skull, and like Sam Wilson was being like brainwashed by the Red Skull using the Cosmic Cube. So like they really touch on that a lot, and that's one thing I gotta give Nick Spencer credit for. He is a very wordy writer, so if you're not into that, you know, this might not be the book for you, but if you're willing to read through it and understand the kind of like all the backstory, and especially if you've read those early Cap stories with the Falcon, he does a really good job of like tying that into the story, and especially the characterization with Sam, because obviously, you know, he's been Cap's partner for God knows how long, and you know, it really uses that as a really good base for his story here in this book. So I'll kind of leave it at that, you know, but yeah, there's just a lot of stuff that like Sam gets thrown into with these books, and he kind of gets shit on a lot, as you can see with the first volume being called Not My Captain America. You can kind of tell where this book goes, and you know, this book I think came out around the time of the 2016 election, I want to say. So, you know, obviously this channel is not for politics, but I think it's very apparent that you can tell that this book is around that era, because there is a lot of political dialogue in these books that very much harkens back to that time in the U.S. political history here, and even past that point with the first presidency of Trump. You know, there's a lot of, like I said, it doesn't necessarily take a stance anywhere, but it very much paints an environment of what we kind of lived through from 2017 to 2021, if that makes sense. So again, I appreciate it from that angle too, and it is kind of appropriate that I'm reading this right now, because as of today, at the time of this filming, we were actually less than a week away from the presidential election here. So, yeah, I did not plan it that way, but that's kind of just how it turned out. But yeah, like I said, it's been a really good ride here. I'm currently on volume 4 of the Sam Wilson stuff. So after this, I think I'm just reading the Nick Spencer, Steve Rogers Captain America stuff, and then I want to say we're segueing into Mark Waid, who did like a couple of miniseries there, and then Ta-Nehisi Coates, and I think we may pretty much be done, aside from like maybe a couple of like miniseries or like one-off books that I have. But yeah, I'm really approaching the end here. Definitely anticipate being done with this Captain America readathon by the end of 2024 here. So there's that. Also sticking with another readathon I've been doing recently. Also finished Daredevil Heart of Darkness Epic Collection. So I might have talked about this on the last haul, but yeah, I did go ahead and finish that. That's another Anna Senti Epic Collection. So I never realized how long her run was. It's a pretty extensive run. And, you know, this one I thought was pretty good. I really did think that the run kind of met its apex and with a touch of Typhoid Epic Collection. But regardless, this is still some really solid stuff. You know, really just, you know, everything kind of post-Miller is very much in a vein of storytelling that I really like. That's not to say that this book is copycatting Miller per se, but it's very much using a lot of the mood and the environment that Daredevil lives in as kind of the basis to work off of. So I gotta give her credit for that, and for just having such a long run. Definitely an underrated run that I think a lot of people don't think about when they think of Daredevil runs, and I would definitely suggest anyone who's remotely into Daredevil to give that a shot. Obviously, once you've had a chance to read some of the hits, but yeah, I think it's a very underrated run in my opinion. So really like that. And the last little chunk of books I've been reading here, kind of sticking in the season here of spooky season, because as of this filming here, we're actually one day before Halloween. I've been reading the Joe Hill House books. So I have read so far Basket Full of Heads and The Low Low Woods. So Basket Full of Heads is kind of a story about this like little town, and there's this murder, and this like sword that like allows people to chop heads off, and the heads are still like can still talk. So it's kind of like a mystery whodunit type of thing. All of these are like slightly horror, but some of them have some nice comedy to them, which I think The Basket Full of Heads did really well, and I enjoyed that one a lot. The Lolo Woods was the story about these two lesbian girls who live in this town, this coal town in Pennsylvania, and a while ago there was a fire in the coal mines that basically has been burning ever since. And there's this whole mystery as to what's causing the burning and stuff like that. So that was a very interesting story too. You know, and then currently right now I'm reading The Dollhouse Family. Currently a third of the way through that. It kind of reminds me a little bit of Coraline because, you know, obviously in Coraline she has, you know, it's a lot darker than Coraline, honestly, but, you know, in this story, we're our main character is this young girl who her parents fight a lot, especially, and her dad is especially abusive towards her mom and her. And, you know, when her parents are fighting and her dad's being abusive, she kind of uses the dollhouse as like an escape from the reality of what's going on with her life. And at the end of the first issue, we find out that she actually kills her dad, and her mom takes the fall for it. And, you know, it's pretty much the rest of the book is kind of this child coming to the terms of what her life is now, you know, kind of without parents and living in this like orphanage type of thing, but also still having this like imaginary dollhouse to kind of escape to. So I say it's kind of related to Coraline because like in the movie Coraline, right, like she has two parents who are kind of like preoccupied with like life and just very boring and things like that. So she has like this, like, you know, she escapes to this other world where like her family and all these other people that live in the house with around like the complex are all like these dollhouse people, but it turns out that it's actually this one person manipulating all of it. So and it kind of helps her really realize that she really loves her parents and everyone else in the apartment complex. But yeah, this is much darker than that. So Coraline didn't kill her parents, but yeah, so that's kind of what I've been reading. 12-minute breakdown aside, that's my chunk here. So a lot of good stuff. And without further ado here, we'll go ahead and get into what the two things that I bought that were kind of comic book related. So like I said, I didn't buy any actual comic books since the last haul. So I actually was at Target one week with my wife and was just walking around. As you guys may know or may not know, I don't really buy a lot of pop figures anymore. I actually ended up selling pretty much all of my pop figures. I think I may have one or two left in a box that's like above my closet here. But I'm really not a big fan of pop figures. But this one really stood out to me. So Funko Pop figures have been doing these like boxes recently where they actually have like the pop figure and then behind it is a bigger box that actually shows the cover of like where the pop figure originated from. So I really like that. Like obviously as a comic book fan, like that stuff really like stands out to me as like interesting. And this one obviously piqued my interest a lot because as you guys know, I'm a huge Iron Man fan. And so I picked this one up and it is the Tales of Suspense Iron Man from Tales of Suspense 39. So you can see here, there's like kind of like a facsimile cover there from that first issue, the first appearance of Iron Man. And then obviously we get the pop figure of that Mark I Iron Man right there. So again, really awesome. I would have to look and see if there's any other ones that are worth getting. There was one that had like Hawkeye and Ant-Man that I was thinking about getting, but I passed on it just because of spacing and stuff like that. But this is awesome. I don't think, you know, with pop figures in the past, I've been kind of tossing back and forth whether I should take them out of the box or not. But for something like this, it's very obvious that half of the reason why you get this is to display it as this. And I wonder if, actually, I wonder if it's something where you have to, if you should take the outside box off and then it displays like that. That might actually look a little bit nicer. I don't know. I think for right now, I'll just keep it like this and then we'll see how I feel, because, you know, there is stretch wrap here, so I'm assuming that the intent is to take it off, but I don't know. I'll probably have to look that up and see how people display theirs, but regardless, really excited to get this. This retails for $25, which I guess is accounting for obviously the pop figure, but also this display case that comes in, because this is like an acrylic case. This isn't like your soft plastic type of packaging. But this was actually on sale for half off. So I got this for only 12 bucks, which is pretty much the price that pop figures are going for now, full retail. So I thought that was a no-brainer there. So picked that one up, really hyped to get that. I can definitely put that right next to my Marvel Legends Mark 1 armor there. So really cool to get that. All right. Next one here I also picked up was another statue, or I guess another display figure from McFarlane Toys. So I remember a while back my friends posted these images of these like statues online, and I actually bought one of them a little bit ago at the Baltimore Comic-Con Hall. On the way back at 2nd and Charles, I found that Iron Man one right behind me. And this one I picked up was Spider-Man. So this is from Spider-Man number 38. Amazing Spider-Man 38, sorry. You can see here kind of that classic image there. I believe this is, I believe at this point this is Romita. I don't think this is, I don't think that's Ditko still. I think Romita has taken over the book at that point. But regardless, you know, kind of captures the same angle as he's jumping there. The really nice stand there. And obviously the classic Spider-Man suit from the 60s. So really just could not pass this up. This was only like 30 bucks, which honestly is a really good deal for a statue of this quality here. And I definitely plan to put this with my Spider-Man collection, especially the early omnibus. I'm going to probably display it like that. But yeah, really nice here. They also did have one from Todd McFarlane's actual Spider-Man run. You know, so that one I may still pick up at some point. I was just, at the time, I was just trying to save some money and not trying to go too crazy. But I definitely am interested in picking up that other one as well, and kind of displaying them similar to what I have here. For those ones, I think I'm going to keep the box and obviously take it out and display it like that. But yeah, I don't think I'm going to display the whole box and everything. I think I'll just take it out of the packaging and keep the box somewhere else in case we move or something else. But yeah, that was really all I had there. So I will close with talking about a trip that I have coming up here. I'm actually traveling for work here in a couple weeks. I'll be traveling to Virginia to one of our plants in my company. And on the way, I actually was curious and I mapped out 3 2nd and Charles locations that I will be stopping at my way down. I have about a 6.5 hour drive, so I will be starting pretty early, you know, on that Monday when I travel. And obviously we'll stop for breakfast and lunch and everything like that. But I figured since I'm passing through those areas anyway, might as well make a couple pit stops, you know, stretch the legs, take a look around, see if I can hit up any 2nd and Charles and see if there's any good finds that I can add to this collection here. So that's the goal. Obviously, I'm probably going to do that the day that I go down. You know, I'm not going to probably stop at those on the way home because the last day I'll be there, it'll be a half day. And like I said, got a 6 hour drive. So I definitely don't want to get home too late. So that's the plan there. But yeah, so I guess what I can say is probably by the next haul video, hopefully I'll have a good amount of stuff to show, you know, and a good amount of stuff to add to the collection here that is worth adding here. And, you know, we'll just see. Regardless, I love going to 2nd and Charles stores, always find some great deal there. I'm still debating whether or not I do have like a short box full of books that I'm looking to trade in. So I may try to do that too. I know 2nd and Charles has changed their policy, which has actually allowed it to be easier to trade in stuff. So like in the past, when you traded in books to the store, you actually had to be present to accept the offer. But nowadays, they just take your information, and then once they process it, they just put it right onto your account, which is a lot easier, so that way I don't have to be there to claim it. So I may do that. I may just bring that box with me and trade in some stuff. I have comics, and then I have some records that I had duplicates of, and things that were just, you know, things that I'm probably not going to listen to, so I decided to trade those in too. But yeah, that's the plan. So hopefully, like I said, next haul I'll have some comics for you guys, but still was able to fill out 20 minutes here. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get into the Lego section, which may be as long, if not longer, so stay tuned. Alright guys, welcome into the Lego section here for haul video 165. So as I mentioned, this is going to be a pretty long section here just because I have a lot of stuff. But like I said, this is probably close to a month's worth of purchases. Yeah, like I said, as I have totally prepared myself financially and mentally for this time of year, because this is the time of year where, like I said before, the Lego sales are just insane, and it's only going to get better here as we get into November, which is also kind of the part that kind of bothers me sometimes, because especially as we get through Black Friday, like some of the deals on Black Friday are just really insane. Like in past years, there's been some really great deals that I've been able to cash in on, but yeah, so that's also something to think about too. If you're tight on cash right now, you know, obviously Black Friday will be a really good opportunity again to get some nice deals. But yeah, so a lot of this I'm going to go through here was purchases I made, but obviously I will save 2 gifts for the end that my wife and my wife's family purchased for me for my birthday. So really happy to get those and very thankful obviously as well. But starting with the smallest set and working our way up. Picked this one up last night. It was actually on sale for like 15 or 20% off. And that is the Ambush on Mandalore Battle Pack. So this is pulled straight from the Mandalorian Season 3 show. So this was kind of like the final fight on Mandalore between the, you know, the Imperial Commandos and the Mandalorians. Really like this build. You know, obviously the minifigures are the real draw here of this set, but I think the build is pretty substantial. You know, it's just a bunch of rocks really, but I think it's nice. And then, you know, some of these little stands that you get of the kind of simulating them flying, I think that's a really nice touch too. And then also another thing they don't show here, but you can actually connect this to another larger set that also takes place on Mandalore. Which I will definitely be waiting for a 20% off sale for, because that set is $40 and I don't want to pay $40 for that. But regardless though, really nice to see like that connectivity between those 2 sets. And honestly, this is a fire battle pack. I don't think I've seen a lot of hate from this set online. Definitely one I think I'm going to end up getting a lot of it in terms of investment. You know, when this does go a little bit cheaper in price, maybe when it drops down to 20% off, I may consider buying a couple to keep sealed. But yeah, really excited to get this. It's also nice too, you get a Mandalorian Warrior and a Mandalorian Night Owl. So 2 variations of the Mandalorians in here. I think that's a nice touch. And then obviously the Commandos are the same. But yeah, really hyped to get this, and a nice addition to the battle packs. This one I picked up. This was on sale at Target one day, so I ended up just grabbing it, keeping it sealed, obviously. I have a lot of these battle packs sealed, and it is the 501st Clone Troopers Battle Pack. I believe this one is also retiring at the end of this year, if I'm not mistaken. This came out in the beginning of 2023, so yeah, it's definitely seen its life cycle here. And yeah, I definitely just wanted to grab some here. For a good sale here before they retire, which, like I said, probably will be, you know, you probably won't be able to find them in another couple months. So just wanted to grab another one there for the investment hoard. Next one here I got was a Marvel one that definitely was going to wait for a 20% off sale for. I guess you really can't call this a battle pack, but it's another one of the Marvel like Infinity Saga throwback sets. So this one is also from Age of Ultron. They've been doing a lot of Age of Ultron ones recently here, but this one is from that opening scene when they're in Sokovia and they're storming Von Strucker's base to get the scepter, Loki's scepter. The main pull of this, obviously the Iron Man figure is really nice. I can't remember. I think that may be a recycled suit from another set potentially. But the main pull for me with this set was the Iron Legionnaires. I don't think I have any in my collection, so I was really interested in getting those. And then also they throw in a Hydra Trooper. This build is nice too. I think the build is pretty substantial for a set like this. I mean, you figured this and this are both worth the same price. They're both $20. Both have 4 minifigures. But I definitely think this one has a more substantial build than this one, right? So like value-wise, you know, your mileage may vary there. But yeah, really excited to get this, and I'm definitely going to try to get that a build here sometime soon. All right, moving up the chain here. Picked up another Marvel Infinity Saga set, and I guess like I might have talked about this before, but I think starting a couple years ago, I want to say 2021 was like the first year they started doing this. Marvel has been going back through the Infinity Saga and giving us sets that they didn't make from these prior films. And they've all been kind of branding them as the Infinity Saga. So that's kind of how they've been getting away with making all these sets and not having to do all these different box arts, I guess. But this one I picked up here was from Thor Ragnarok. This is Thor versus Surtur, the construction figure. So yeah, got this for 20% off. Comes with 2 fire demons and the Ragnarok Thor from the beginning of the movie, right? So he still has the long hair. Surtur is a really nice build here. I really like the way they designed him, especially with that sword. And then also a nice feature as well. They also include that same kind of curl piece that you can use to kind of show like, you know, Thor's hammer flying around. Thor's hammer also has like that lightning bolt coming out of it, which I think is really cool. So like, you know, I like these changes because I feel like Lego has really noticed that like people like to display their sets, and having these additions like this really help with that displayability. Like even for a set that's only worth like $24, right? I think it's, I think those are admirable additions that, you know, they're not big, they're not really like noticeable things, but I definitely think there's stuff that people appreciate, especially myself. I just think this shot right here of like Surtur holding Thor by the chains from the movie, and then you have the sword, and then you have his hammer flying in. I think that's just a really dynamic like pose and scene there that just really tells the story of this moment in the movie. So really cool to get this, and I'll definitely be giving that a build at some point there. All right, next set I got here, kind of switching gears a little bit. You know, obviously I have been a huge proponent of the botanical collection here by Lego. I bought a lot of their sets. I've had to put away a couple of my sets because of our cat, Luna. She likes to chew on everything, including Lego, so that's why I've had to kind of put them away. But this one I definitely like to display somewhere here, maybe in my room, or maybe in a future place that we move to. But that is the Plum Blossom. So I like this because there's another one that's come out. I can't remember what the name of it is. It starts with C. But I like this from the standpoint of price, right? So this I got for 20% off. It was originally 30, got it for 24. I like that Lego is doing these like mid-tier price range botanical sets, right? Because when we first got them, they kind of started up at 50, and then we got even to points where we were at like $100 for the Birds of Paradise, which was an insane price tag for that set. And that one went quickly on sale. I actually never bought it because it was still overpriced in my opinion. But this is really nice, right? You get a nice build, a nice little pot display stand there, and a nice, you know, substantial rose plum blossom build here, which I think looks really nice. So again, really hope Lego keeps making these types of like mid-tier price sets from the botanical collection, that more people can kind of get their hands on and get exposed to this. And then obviously if they love this, they can upgrade up to, you know, the more expensive botanical sets. But yeah, really nice to get this. You know, you can kind of see the comparison on the back here of what the Lego version looks like and what the actual plum blossom looks like. So really cool to get that. And it's actually interesting because, like I said, there's another set that goes with that, like another $30 like botanical set. I kept checking that one, and that one never dropped for a sale. So that's why I just picked that one up for now. But I'm sure once that other one goes on sale, I'll end up picking it up at some point. So there's that. All right. Next set I got here actually just came today, courtesy of Walmart. Yeah, Walmart has dropped a couple of sales here. Some new stuff hitting rollback this month and this week. I know they have another Black Friday sale, like early Black Friday sale coming November 11th, which you know, might hurt my wallet too, but we'll have to see. But yeah. This one I ended up picking up was the Lego 76297 Dancing Groot. So I have a shit ton of Dancing Groot at this point. I have the Venomized Groot. I have the Dancing Groot from Guardians 2. I have the Potted Groot Brickhead. And now I have the Potted Dancing Groot constructible figure here. This set's awesome. Like I said, I got this on a rollback here, so I saved about $10, which is nice. This is awesome, right? I love the colors. I love the pot, all the accessories that Groot comes with. He comes with like the glasses, the headphones. You know, you can change out the little plate on the front there, you know, so just a lot of customizability. I think the shaping of the head looks really good. I think they did as good of a job as they could with the size, right? Because obviously, this is supposed to be smaller than the Dancing Groot from the second movie. So I think they did a really good job getting the articulation down and the face. I think it's pretty well done. So really hyped to get this a build and put it up next to all my other Groot stuff, which, like I said, is quickly expanding. I have a whole, I mean, you can see right behind me here, the Venomized Groot. Just a lot of Groot stuff going on here in my collection. So there's that. All right. Next that I got here was another one I picked up from Amazon. I want to say at this point, it's been almost a month since I bought this. This was the very first set to come in after I did my last haul video. And that is the Tantive 4, you know, spaceship collection set from Lego Star Wars. So this is the second of 3 ships that I have picked up here from this wave of mini scale ships. So last year we obviously got the Executor, which I grabbed at the Lego store while using a lot of my points. And then recently got the Invisible Hand for 20% off, and then also got this one for 20% off. The only one I have yet to get is the Millennium Falcon, which has yet to go on sale. And it is also, I think, the most expensive of all of them at $85, which, you know, even at 20% off, I think that only brings it down to like $68, which is still kind of pretty steep to pay for a midi scale Millennium Falcon, especially considering I have the play scale Millennium Falcon that I think I only paid maybe $40 more for, and it's actually a minifigure scale. But anyways, wanted to get this one because I did not have a chance to get the UCS Tantive 4 or anything like that. This is the first time I've had this type of ship in my collection, and I'm really excited to build this, you know, and display this next to the Executor and the Invisible Hand. I think it's going to be a really nice display piece, and you know, I like these ship sets. You know, obviously this year we've gotten a break from the helmets which I think they're bringing back in 2025. I think there's been rumors of an AT driver's helmet set and a Jango Fett helmet set. I really hope we didn't get a break from the helmets this year just so they can upcharge us more for them next year. But I have a funny feeling that that's what is going to happen here. So don't be surprised that that's the case. But yeah, with this set though, really hyped to get this, you know. Yeah, I really hope they keep making the spaceship sets. You know, obviously next year, I think a lot of people are asking for like a Venator or a, I forget what the other, I think it's like a Vindicator. I don't know what the other class of ship is that we see at the end of episode 2. But yeah, there's still plenty of ships they can pick from. I have no doubts they'll find something that will be iconic that they can use. But this one definitely super iconic. As you can see here in the picture, they show the opening scene from episode 4. So obviously I had to get that for that nostalgia there. All right, moving through here. I'll save the 2 gifts for the end because they kind of go together. So I'm sure you guys can imagine what that may be. This one I actually just picked up here today as well from Walmart. Again, this one was also on sale for 20% off, and that is the Insect Collection idea set. So I do remember when this was approved and submitted to the LEGO Ideas. This went through a pretty long process, I feel like, but nonetheless, beautiful set. You get a beetle, you get a butterfly, and then the praying mantis is arguably one of the best builds, I think, of this. I think it's just the articulation, the shapes, just really, really fun. And I bought this mostly because I think this will go really nicely with like the rest of my botanical like small sets that I have, like the potted plants and the succulents. Like I kind of want to display all of those together, and I think these insect sets will go very nicely with it too. So kind of just thinking about display ideas for future areas and shelves and things like that. But yeah, really, really nice to get these, and these are just some nice, beautiful sets. You also get a little bee there too, so maybe we'll give that a build here soon. So there's that as well. All right, jumping back here, picked this set up. This was 20% off, and when I saw this price for this set originally, I scoffed at it because I'm like, that's way overpriced for something like this. And sure enough, within, I think this set may have only come out like a month or 2 ago. And sure enough, it's already on sale, which tells me one thing, is that LEGO knows that they priced it too high and they weren't selling enough of it. So that's why it quickly went on a sale. And that is the Batman with the Batmobile versus Harley Quinn and Mr. Freeze set. That's a mouthful for a set. But obviously this is from the animated series. And this is just a really iconic Batmobile. You know, it's interesting here. I actually have the 1960s Batmobile set. Very similar in design in terms of like, it comes with a stand like this. And yeah, really nice minifigures here too. Kind of wish, I'm pretty sure that Harley Quinn is recycled. I really wish they would have done a little bit more detailing with Mr. Freeze. He just seems very basic to me. And again, like I know this is supposed to be based off of the animated movie or the show. So obviously there is some simplicity to that as well, but I kind of wish they would have done at least some printing on the legs maybe or something. But nonetheless, the build for the actual car is very nice, very sleek, very tiled off as well. So, you know, we'll kind of see how it is. It is like a dark bluish color. So I don't know how accurate that may be. Again, I've only watched a couple of episodes of the animated series, so forgive my ignorance there. But yeah, regardless though, nice to see this, considering that the only DC sets that we're getting here are Batman sets. So yeah, I guess it's good to get whatever we can get through that. So there's that. The last 3 sets are Christmas sets. So the first one I'll show here is an advent calendar that I waited for a sale to get, and that is the Marvel advent calendar. This year they've gone with Spider-Man. So obviously you can see here it comes with like Venom, Spider-Gwen, Spider-Man, Green Goblin, and then I think the main draw to this, the exclusive set or minifigure, would be the Miles Morales winter sweater figure there. But some nice little builds that are previewed here. I guess the sleigh will be the glider from Green Goblin, and then you can see here, you know, Spider-Gwen comes with a drum set, so I think that's a really nice little addition there. But yeah, pick this up. You know, similar to last year, I think I'm probably just going to stick with Star Wars and Marvel here. I have been tossing back and forth the idea of getting the Harry Potter one, but I may wait and see if that set goes on an even deeper sale to pick that one up. I'm past the point of doing the City one, even though the City and the Friends advent calendars are cheaper, and that's because they're not IPs. You know, they are Lego properties, so they can charge less for them, I guess. So that's an interesting little tidbit there. But yeah, I think for right now, I'm gonna keep the Marvel and Star Wars one for right now to do for this coming holiday season, and may make a decision on Harry Potter if I can find it for cheaper, because you know, nowadays the calendars are going up to like $45 retail, and then obviously the 20% off, you're looking at around $9 off, so it brings it down to $36, which is still kind of a little expensive for an advent calendar in my opinion. So that's just something to keep in mind there with that. But yeah, the last two sets here were sets that I'm really looking forward to building for Christmas this year. You know, as I do every year, I always try to get some Christmas sets, and it's funny, the story behind this one. I remember when they announced these sets, I was actually traveling for work, and I sent pictures of them to my now wife, and I was like, oh, these are I really love these sets, but like, I don't see myself, you know, paying the price for them, because they were pretty expensive, honestly. And sure enough, my wife and my wife's family surprised me and purchased them for my birthday. So just wanted to thank her and her family for buying these for me. So the first one here that she got for me was the poinsettia set here. So this is $50. And, you know, just really appreciative of her for getting this for me. A really substantial build here. You know, 608 pieces, so a pretty nice price per piece ratio in my opinion there. Nice detailing, some nice usage of parts here. So you can see like one of the flower blades is like, one of the flowers is actually used as using a blade piece, which I think is a nice addition there. But yeah, I think this set's really gonna sell really well this holiday season. I can see a lot of people buying this for like Lego fans. You know, $50, you know, someone's into poinsettias into the Christmas season, you know, here you go. So I'm really looking forward to building this and displaying this during December. So thank you, Monica, for this gift. Really appreciate it. And the last that I got here, again, another Christmas set that I definitely was excited to get until I saw the price tag, and I'm like, oof, I don't know if I can swing that much money for this set. And turns out I didn't have to, because my sister and brother-in-law both chipped in and got me this set for my birthday, and it actually arrived like as Monica was giving me her gifts, so that perfect timing there. But that set is the Botanical Collection wreath. So I actually do have a wreath in my collection here. Lego released one a couple years ago, and we have been displaying that like in our like apartment here. It's a lot smaller and a lot less detailed than this one is, but Lego absolutely knocked it out of the park with this wreath here. This is so much more built out. It's honestly huge. Like, just looking at these lifestyle pictures here, it's just crazy how big it is. It's literally almost 15 inches in diameter, which is like insane, right? And there's just so much customization here. You know, you can put blueberries or red berries on there. There's pine cones. There's like orange slices, cinnamon sticks. Just a lot of customization here. And I think the foliage foliage pieces they chose to use here and integrate, I think really fill out the wreath really nicely too and give it a lot of dimension as well. So, you know, I'm really looking forward to building this. I wish I could build it right now, but we're still a month or so away from December here, but definitely will be putting this on the queue to build early in that season. And honestly, at this point, since I have this wreath here, I don't see any reason for me to keep the older one. So I may consider breaking that one down into parts at some point. It also was like super flimsy, so like the way that it was kind of held together was through those like socket joint things that kind of formed the circle. And I don't know if this one is the same design or not. I'll have to build it obviously and find out. But that one was always super flimsy because like if I picked it up by a certain spot, like the socket would disconnect and then it would fall and break. That happened a couple times when I was trying to like take it out of like the container I stored it in. So that's just something I'll have to keep in mind, I guess, as I go through with this. I hope I'm almost 100% certain that this is a different design, and hence the reason why they kind of went ahead and build this or designed this, obviously also to make money too. But yeah, so that's my last set. So again, thank you Adam and Alicia for this gift. Really thoughtful, and like I said, I'll definitely send you guys a picture once I build it. But yeah, that has been my Lego haul. So as I promised, it was going to be longer than the comic haul just because I had so much stuff to go through. But anyways, let's go ahead and close out this video. All right, guys. So thank you so much for watching this video. You know, so like I said, a lot of the stuff was Lego. I'm sorry for any of those comic fans out there who didn't get a chance to see any comics that I picked up here, but as I mentioned, I do hope to get to find some stuff to show to you in the next haul video once I hit up those 3 Second and Charles stores. Also trying not to spend too much money. You know, the trading credit should hopefully help too. So that's kind of what I've been doing with Second and Charles, is just, you know, trading in stuff and using that to kind of defray the cost of what I'm spending on those books. So, but yeah, more to come there. But anyways, guys, thank you so much for watching. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe for more content. As you can probably guess, I have 164 of these videos for you to go back and watch in a playlist on my channel. So if you have some time to kill, definitely recommend checking it out. But otherwise, I will see you guys on the flip side. Peace.